This ABC 15 News Update is sponsored by Sanderson Ford, America's best-selling Ford dealership.
Hi there, I'm Jamie Warren with your afternoon update for ABC15 Arizona. An update on a deadly drive-by shooting in Tempe near 52nd Street and Broadway that left a little boy dead. Police now formally announcing the arrests of 2 teens and a 30-year-old man, all of them facing first-degree murder charges. The 2 teens are being charged as adults. A 5-year-old was killed in that shooting. A 17-year-old and an 8-year-old were also hurt, but are expected to recover. The motive is still under investigation. Cracking down on a controversial homeless encampment in downtown Phoenix. A judge just siding with business owners, ruling that the city must come up with a game plan to clean up the zone. The camp spans from Jefferson to Jackson, mostly between 9th and 13th Avenues. Attorneys claim it's a public nuisance, and now a judge has issued a preliminary injunction saying that the city has to maintain public property in that area, saying that it must be free of tents, human waste, and people engaging in disorderly conduct or disturbing the peace.
To be clear, we think that this means it's a win not just for the business owners, but for the unsheltered community as well. Because let's be real, whatever the city is doing is not working. It is a humanitarian disaster there.
Phoenix officials have until July to come up with the plan and show the results. The city says that they are reviewing the ruling and working with partners to address the complex issues for those experiencing homelessness. Arizona now ranks 4th in the country for the highest gas prices. And the big question is, why are the prices in our state so high? Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy tells us that Arizona is one of the very few states that has 3 different types of blends required during the month of March, as opposed to other states that have just 1 or 2. It's an effort to keep our air cleaner, but in return, it's making gas cost more. He says right now there's also less gas available because refineries are doing maintenance before the summer driving season.
It's a complexity in making the transition, when it needs to be done, as quickly as it needs to be done, and how much supply is needed, especially considering that we're also in spring break time of year when demand is starting to go up. And all of that has pushed up Arizona. So if there's anything, Arizona is rather unique.
Says that he does expect prices to drop within the next few weeks. Well, it is Wildfire Awareness Week, and despite recent rain and winter storms across our state, there is concern over what this fire season will be like. And top fire officials met with the governor yesterday to prepare. Wildfire season can be year-round in Arizona, but peak season runs from April to July. Last year, we saw large fires in April, including the Tunnel Fire in northern Arizona. That was despite the moisture. Officials say that there was actually some fuel on the ground.
Everywhere across the state, we have that potential for large fire growth. All this moisture is done for us. It's just giving us one breath that we can take for maybe one season, but still you're going to have maybe a shorter season, but you're still going to have the potential of large-scale fires out there.
So some of the major concerns around the state are southern Arizona and central parts of our state like Payson and Prescott. Tempe Town Lake is back open for boating activities. Officials closed it last week after large debris made it into the lake following SRP water releases. The city installed a temporary buoy line to slow down that debris as the water levels subside. They ask anyone planning to go out to the lake not to cross those lines.
Tracking your most accurate forecast, I'm meteorologist Jorge Torres. Finally, a spring-like day here in the valley with temperatures reaching the lower 80s this afternoon. Starting off with temperatures in the 50s at 8 o'clock in the morning, warming up into the mid-70s by midday and reaching those highs in the lower 80s by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We're also going to start off mostly clear to partly cloudy this morning. Then by midday, the skies will clear out, making way for sunny conditions for the rest of your afternoon. So yes, mostly sunny and warm for your Tuesday with a high of 81 degrees. And even warmer down in the Old Pueblo with a high of 82 in Tucson. And a mild day across parts of the high country with highs in the 50s and Flagstaff, Window Rock, Page, and the Grand Canyon too, and 70s across western parts of the state. Your 7-day forecast showing temperatures, though, going from the 80s on Wednesday to the 60s on Thursday with the next storm coming in. And the high country, that means, you guessed it, more snow on Thursday in Flagstaff with highs in the upper 30s and lows in the teens, but the 50s return to the forecast for Flagstaff beginning this weekend and early next week.
Another update tonight. Until then, get the latest news, weather, and traffic at abc15.com or by downloading the free ABC 15 mobile app.
This ABC 15 News Update is sponsored by Sanderson Ford, America's best-selling Ford dealership.